Changing the face of Nottingham, we can reveal that no fewer than 60 purpose-built developments have been approved in the last 10 years, and that is 9,000 bed spaces. Well, tonight a housing campaigner tells us it's creating some resentment because, well, there aren't enough affordable homes for local families. But the council says what it's done is actually prevent a more serious housing crisis, and it's revealed that some student blocks, well, they could be converted for other people to rent. Here's our social affairs correspondent, Jeremy Ball.
Cranes, construction, a changing skyline. This is how Nottingham's being transformed. There are now almost 700 bed spaces here at Winfield Court, on a site where 4 more purpose-built blocks are already being planned. A lifestyle choice for students at Nottingham's 2 universities.
I think it's best for the big blocks, because then gives other people in Nottingham who aren't students places for them to live,
I just live in city centre. Yeah. I think it's better than to be in shared accommodation. You got time to study and everything, no one's going to disturb you.
I went Trent and I was in a student house. I liked being in a house because you didn't feel isolated.
Shared houses is a no-no because the more the people, the more the mess they make.
And here on Alfreton Road, you can see how the face of the whole neighbourhood's being changed by this huge new student development they're building here. And if you look at the signs on the front of it, it all looks very swish. They're advertising everything from a coffee shop to a yoga studio and a gaming booth, and even these dedicated sports courts.
Yeah, I live 2 streets up, but on the next street, all the way down, mate.
How does it affect you?
It affects me rent. It's like I'm just literally going to view a house now and I've got to go 10 miles away from work when I live in the city centre. I just think it's disgusting all around here, the amount of student properties that are about. I'm paying £1,200 for a 2-bed flat and it's tiny.
Why not open it up to us all?
Alison told me she spent several months in a homeless hostel after her relationship broke down.
Angry. People don't want to put a family of 3 in a 3-bedroom house. It's a tenant in each room now, isn't it? And what they're offering students is perfect for me. Little self-studio flat would be perfect.
And Alison's not alone. Sally Denton's a housing advisor here at the Nottingham Law Centre.
It's just not a great look for somebody who is long-term in bed and breakfast accommodation or is being told that there isn't suitable accommodation available for them to see properties repeatedly being built that's not available for them.
What impact's that having?
It's causing resentment because people can't get moved, they can't bid for new properties on the housing register because it's closed at the moment, and people are repeatedly being told that there isn't enough accommodation, and then they're seeing accommodation being built for students.
Those students are a huge part of Nottingham's economy. The universities say they're supporting 25,000 local jobs. But for every new housing development, there are new questions about the consequences.
Well, Jeremy's with me here in the studio. Some pretty strong opinions there, aren't there? I mean, what does Nottingham City Council have to say about it all?
Well, they argue, Anne, that these purpose-built developments have actually helped prevent more local families being driven out of residential neighbourhoods like Lenton, where there was real concern a number of years ago because so many rented family homes were being converted into student house shares. Now, if you look over here, you can see the pace of change. This is from our Freedom of Information response. And just look here at that steady increase in purpose-built student development, 60 in total over the last 10 years. And then this graph here shows you just how many extra bed spaces, hopefully see that in just a moment, they've created every year, 9,000 in all over the last decade. That doesn't include new rooms outside the city boundary. And the council says that has kept pace pretty much with rising demand as the 2 universities have expanded.
What we've managed to do in Nottingham over the past decade is avoid the situation other cities and university cities have had where students going to study there simply haven't been able to find any accommodation.
And there are people who are born and bred in Nottingham who say, look, I'm struggling to rent. There are all these swanky new student blocks going up. Why aren't they building more stuff for me?
If those student accommodation blocks hadn't been built, the pressure on the local housing market would have been even more extreme than it has. And that inevitably would have pushed rents up even further.
Student numbers in Nottingham are starting to fall now, aren't they? So isn't that going to mean lots of empty rooms in these new blocks?
There may well be some greater vacancies. The purpose-built providers are looking to be more competitive on price. Are we building something that can only ever be student accommodation? Well, the answer is quite a strong no from me.
So how soon do you think we could see one of these purpose-built student blocks converted for non-student use then?
Within maybe the next 12, 18 months. Some of perhaps the older or the less well located or the more readily convertible existing student accommodation blocks, they may well turn into different types of residential accommodation.
And are we seeing a sort of similar trend, a similar kind of thing going on with all our other universities?
Well, Nottingham does really stand out. That is partly because there are larger student numbers there, but just look at the regional picture here over the last 10 years. Just over 2,000 extra purpose-built student accommodation places in Leicester, around 1,000 each in both Derby and in Charnwood, which covers Loughborough Uni, of course. And this all feeds into that much wider debate about how to solve the housing crisis and the government's big announcement on new affordable homes in yesterday's spending review.
Well, talking about that's exactly where we're going to next. Thanks very much indeed for that, Jeremy.